improve my digestion, and my tummy feels better and looks slimmer. My bathroom habits are normal again, and thanks to number 3, I don't crave junk anymore. And Lisa from Agora, California writes, "Thank you, Dr. Lee. I always thought I'd have to change my diet to lose weight, and I just couldn't motivate myself to do it for more than a few weeks. This has made it much easier, and I couldn't be happier with the way I look. I never thought I could be this thin again." I love getting these letters. It's amazing what a big difference a few small changes can make to your body. So let's get started. Oh, before I do, I encourage you to grab a pencil and paper or open up a Word doc to take some notes. Because while this presentation is brief, I'm going to share some things you will want to write down.
These are the same tips I give celebrities here in Los Angeles who pay me thousands of dollars to help them shed fat quickly for new movie roles.
However, I'm giving it all away free today because I feel it's time you were told the real truth about fat loss, and you shouldn't have to come to Los Angeles or be a movie star to get it.
I swear on the degrees and certification given to me by the American Board of Internal Medicine and my memberships with the National Board of Physician Nutrition Specialists and the American Board of Obesity Medicine to give you nothing but the facts.
This information comes from my years of experience helping everyone from those who need to get bikini ready for summer to severe cases where patients need to lose large amounts of weight quickly or risk a life-ending heart attack. Regardless of your situation, I'm confident this information, if you apply it, will give you the results you're looking for. So put your phone on airplane mode for a minute here and get ready to take some notes. What you are about to see and hear will shock you, but it could also change your life. Let's start with harmful foods. Harmful food number 1 is yogurt.
Did you know that one General Mills original Yoplait yogurt contains about twice as much sugar as an entire bowl of their cereal Lucky Charms?
Yes, it's true. The way yogurt is marketed makes me sick. Beware of any yogurt with added sugars. Keep in mind, a 6-ounce yogurt should have about 13 grams of naturally occurring sugar from milk, so anything over 20 grams is a big no-no. Also, beware of any yogurt claiming to give you probiotic benefits. When yogurt is pasteurized, it kills off many of those good bacteria. So unless you're making your yogurt at home, you're not going to get enough probiotic benefits to make a noticeable difference in your digestive tract. Fortunately, our American court system agrees. In 2013, General Mills paid $8.5 million to settle a class action lawsuit that claimed their Greek yogurt was not even a yogurt at all. Also, steer clear of any yogurt containing the number 1 fat-forming ingredient, high fructose corn syrup. That leads me to my number 2 harmful food, wheat bread. You may have heard brown bread is better for you than white bread. Yes, that can be true. However, again, the big companies are taking advantage of you here.
No. Go away. Good Lord. Ugh. Sorry about that. It's broadcasting software. I don't know why that's showing if it's playing in the background. Okay. Here we go. Disco Elysium. Let's see. Okay. New game. Create new character. Well, let's see. Archetype. Thinker. Very bad with people. Most interesting facts, comes up with original ideas. Sensitive, very psychological, magnetic personality, but unstable. Begin to lose his mind. Extremely physical, interacts with the world through his body, gets things done, but dumb as a rock. I'll do the thinker. In honor of the Suicide Squad. It makes my brain good. If you haven't seen the Suicide Squad, the new one, do yourself a favor and watch it as soon as possible. Here's our moment of the universe. There's water. Chocolate milk. Begin.
There is nothing. I've only warm primordial blackness. You're conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever.
Never, ever.
Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible.
What?
Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone.
I want to get
Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself.
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
Somehow, you know what it is. A caprice to name a motor carriage.
Well, this looks pretty cool. Jeez, alright. Oh. Finished it. What's that? Take off. Shoot.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Assess the damage.
The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're
Is my
looking for
other
something
shoe?
heavy and larger than your fist. The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if thrown with force. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the other one on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room.
Oh, maybe it wasn't.
You mean someone else took your shoe off and smashed the window with it? This person also forced the drinks on you. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
Get the shoe. Alright, let's go. Let's see. Get some pants. Get pants. Oh, disco ass blazer.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades.
What? Yeah, strap the tie.
You reach out to grab the tie, but what's this? Diffuse, radiating chest pain. Doom comes over you. This is bad. Feels like sharp stones grinding in your chest and keeping you from moving for quite a long time.
Okay. Heart attack?
Still ongoing. Now is a good time to start worrying.
Okay.
Finally, the pressure recedes. You find yourself covered in cold sweat and you know what you should do. You should stop the fan and then try again. It'll get easier. Do it if you want to die. The stabbing pain in your chest is telling you. You're hanging by a thread. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in your brain. The lights are off.
Okay.
You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose.
Okay. Still don't want the pants. What's this here? Cassette case. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so I found my shoe. My checks. What the heck is that? Oh. Right. All right. Let's see, what's this?
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your abort, you clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
Oh, it's suggestive.
Please promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the ladies, whatever happens. That's right. Not even yourself. Go ahead, try something. It's not an order.
All right, let's give it a try.
It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the time. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression.
What the? Oh.
The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. You have some understanding of the near history of disco. The rest is darkness, aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside was a caprice canema. Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, some 20-odd years. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Look, it doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return.
That's probably not gonna happen. Scott's having the paints on. Oh, he's able to paints. Let's see here. Shoes. Keys. Ah. Really? Idea what's going on here. Robocop. Good lord. Let's see.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind.
It's not there.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says "whirling in rags" on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. The Whirling in Rags is a hostel cafeteria on the urban coast, frequented by dock workers.
That's where I'm at. Might go out now, huh? Ooh. Hey, ladies. What's today?
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28.
No.
The young woman shakes her head slowly. Officer could be an artistic statement. You're already prone to those.
No. You're a police officer, sir. I'm not. Unless you've been shitting us all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
You have no doubt about the drinking. But do you strike yourself as a tight-lipped drunk? She must have heard something. She nods.
There's a mercenary out back. He's been hanged. The body has been there for a week now. The locals probably got tired of it and called the cops. I didn't mean to overwhelm you with information, You seem a bit lost, officer. Could it be because of the drinking?
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
She sounds like the girl from the X.
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you've said the words 1,000,000 times before. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Yes. The dock workers are pretty cocky. They think they're police enough. At least here on the coast. I can't say about the rest of the city. You're in a hostel, sir. We are in Revachol.
Revachol is the disgraced former capital of the world, divided into zones of control under foreign occupation. Half a century after a failed world revolution, she is central to our moment in time.
You sure look like you're from Revachol. Revachol parties.
Her accent suggests she is not from around here. She's from Aranier, another part of the world.
It's 51. The current century? Centuries don't have numbers. They have names. And this is the current one. Civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir. You're right. There is nothing funny about civilization. There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them.
Oh, that. Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
OO were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time, you were yelling along to it. Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world.
15 minutes or so.
It was about that.
You don't want me to bring
And also,
No, come on.
that it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
Cool.
Yes. It was very cool.
It's impossible to say whether she's being sarcastic or really means it.
Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it. Glad to have been of assistance.
Oh. Them on. Yeah, get that money. Okay. Man, this is dense. Suppose I'll start to get the hang of it just as time is running out. Phew.
There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like two baby crocodiles. It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Thanks.
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. So this door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. Still no answer. Still nothing.
See, accomplishing something. Let's see if anybody says anything about my lack of paints. Board.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Utterly. And it needs to be heard through a PA system, by other people. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought. See if you should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious. No, don't sing the happy song. You would need another copy of the tape first though. The one upstairs is destroyed.
Where'd that thing go? Yeah, it's bush. Sleeping dog.
A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes on the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
Yeah.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John. Your fingers find their way into the shackle, flicking open its spring-loaded gate. The metal loop holds the plastic ID and a leather-bound pocketbook. The man emits a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it, but you never know. Better be quick. You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pop. Just for the record, you look nothing like the man on the document. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems like this woman lived centuries ago. The sleeping dock worker has little to say about your actions. He remains silent.
Alright. Got some stuffs.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he now on the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
Very well, officer. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time?
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
Then we should ask him for a rundown of the area. Get me up to speed. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Right. And the interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Sure, but did you take it down from the tree? So, the body is where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the citizen's military. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it.
Inspectorate General means internal affairs. What he's saying is, he's not from...
No need for derogatory terms. They're only doing their job. Yes. They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West.
Oh. Jeez. Oops. Okay.
I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage, but again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your... You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But if you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, we all feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid.
And then, soon after, dead bodies would be dangling from all the...
But first, we have to take it down. After you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party.
Okay.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your... But dear, you're not for me. I'm too old and too married. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. Oh my. You know where we are, right? Now. We are live in a hostel called the Whirling in Rags. And the Whirling itself is in the city of Revachol. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used... Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? You're joking. Try again, one more time. There. The year's 51, and spring is...
She looks flustered, her hands smoothing out the creases in her blanket, even as she attempts to... The lieutenant studies you, rubbing his chin. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Oh, no. Nothing like that, dear. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the...
I don't know. Still looks like there's a lot of hustling going on. Maybe she's wrong. Also...
Oh, dear. This is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The state... But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
You didn't do too well, dear. It does look like you're having trouble remembering.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in...
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are a defeat. I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came. Of course, sweetie, I really don't know how to explain it better. Someone more educated in sweeping matters.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy?
That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
Yes, dear.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
No, dear. I'm not quite that old. Although I was injured in the line of duty. Nothing so extravagant, dear. Though what younger, I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail order shoe company. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and well, I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays. No problem. Whatever do you mean? Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a part.
A partner who'll need you to help him get a corpse down from a tree. I can assure you with absolute certainty, there are...
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be of much use to you, and thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair. Perhaps another time. Of course, dear. Good luck.
Okay, well, let's get close to the next one. Okay, let's see, the next game. Next game is a VR game called Hello Puppets. We shall see about this one. Let's see, I will be back in about 5 or 10 minutes to start Hello Puppets in VR.